Dynamite Duke is a fantastic arcade game that was created in 1989 and later ported to the Sega Genesis in 1990, and this is the copy I'm playing right now. I absolutely love this shooting game. It is one of the best Genesis games ever. The concept of the game is pretty simple. You're like this badass bionic soldier with a, big hole in his chest. Okay, it's not really a hole, it's just they made a hole in his chest so you can see more of the environment, basically. And you're basically taking on an entire army in every level. And at the end of every level, there's a boss fight, and you have to fight the bosses using melee attacks. One of the things I really love about Dynamite Duke is the range of motion. You don't just shoot, you can also duck to avoid enemies' attack, you can move out of the way of enemy attacks, you can kick, and you can hit enemies with the butt of your gun. It's very sophisticated from a game from 1989. Like many games in this type of genre, you can shoot a lot of environmental things in the game, and that gives you power-ups like sometimes it's health, sometimes it's ammo, things like that. One problem with this game is the depth perception of enemy attacks. A lot of times, an enemy will shoot you, and you don't really know how close the bullet is to you because of this really unique style the game is in. I mean, you can call it one of the first ever third-person shooters, really. So even though you can time yourself right and the enemy projectiles are slow enough for you to dodge them, a lot of times you simply won't because you can't really tell how close the projectile is or how close the melee attack of the enemy is. Another bad part is a lot of the boss fights, all you have to do to win is really spam attacks. Offense really is the best defense against bosses. Sometimes they have really powerful attacks and you just have to dodge those. But oftentimes, most of the time, you just spam punches or kicks and that's how you destroy the enemy. For the most part. Dynamite Duke is not an easy game, but it is satisfying when you pass a level. For example, this is me playing on easy. This is actual footage of me playing on easy, and I died several times just because the game has quite a steep challenge curve. Dynamite Duke isn't always hard. Well, I mean, he is with the ladies. But in terms of this game, it's not always hard. But sometimes you're just bombarded with way too many enemies that are shooting way too many projectiles. And combine that with the pretty jerky depth perception of the actual projectiles, you will die once in a while in this game. I like how in the middle of a war, someone's just kind of rolling store refrigerators through the forest. Just some soldier off the screen pushes a refrigerator, hoping you shoot it or something. Thanks, guy. I mean, I have to assume this is the future because, you know, Dynamite Duke is bionic, judging by his right arm, and a lot of the bosses are bionic, but why is it that in the future, bullets are slowed down considerably? Like, you know how fast bullets are? You can't dodge bullets when enemies are shooting you, but in the future, bullets are like, basically travel at the speed of a really slow baseball throw. You know, it's like basically they're throwing like bananas or lemons at you. They're not really bullets. Look how slow they are. What happened to the armies of the future? Look how weak we became. How does anyone win a war shooting big thin lemons instead of bullets? For a game this complex, in terms of just how many actions you have, Dynamite Duke, surprisingly, has virtually no lag when it comes to controller response time. The game acts in a blink of a second. So if you're really good, you will dodge enemy attacks, and you will beat this game. Like I said, it's not always the case just because of the depth perception, but this game really does reward skill and not luck. Dynamite Duke gets an official Stan Birdman rating of an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, look at the cover of this game. Is that not reason enough to get it? It's probably the best video game cover ever. It's like corny and awesome at the same time. It's like a really sexy woman doing the Macarena. I love it, and I'm also getting douche chills. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.